Hello, I'm Tom Whitaker, and I'm a part of Group A. Group A's prompt for the anatomy jigsaw number 3 is this. Identify all the cranial nerves that supply structures in the orbit, note their names and their functions within the orbit. First, let's name all the cranial nerves we'll be discussing. In order, they are cranial nerves 2, the optic nerve, 3, the oculomotor nerve, 4, the trochlear nerve, 5, trigeminal nerve, 6, the abducent nerve, and 7, the facial nerve. Cranial nerve number 2, the optic nerve, serves a special sensory function providing sight to the eye. Cranial nerve number 3, the oculomotor nerve, serves motor and parasympathetic functions. For the motor functions, the third cranial nerve innervates the muscles of the acronym S.L.I.M, S-L-I-I-M. Muscles are the S superior rectus, the L levator palpebrae superioris, the I inferior rectus, the second I inferior oblique, and the M medial rectus muscles. These muscles allow for movements of the eye denoted by the muscles' names. Next, the oculomotor nerve also serves parasympathetic. It also provides parasympathetic innervation for the ciliary body and the sphincter pupillae muscle. The ciliary body controls the shape of the lens, which affects the depth of focus, a reflex called the accommodation reflex. The sphincter pupillae muscle controls the dilation of the iris, allowing more light into the eye or less light depending on the stimuli. The parasympathetic nerves from the third cranial nerve constrict the iris and allow less light in under bright conditions, a reflex called the pupillary light reflex. Up next, the fourth cranial nerve, the trochlear nerve, provides motor innervation to the superior oblique muscle. Now, cranial nerve number 5, the trigeminal nerve, has a few branches, but only one that has a function in the orbit. Cranial nerve V1, the ophthalmic nerve. The ophthalmic nerve has two additional branches that provide sensory information from the orbit. The nasociliary nerve provides sensory innervation to the cornea and sclera, while the lacrimal nerve provides sensory innervation to the skin above the lateral corners of the eye. And it additionally carries postganglionic, parasympathetic, and sympathetic fibers to the lacrimal gland. Next, cranial nerve 6 is the abducent nerve, which provides motor innervation to the lateral rectus muscle. Lastly, the seventh cranial nerve, the facial nerve, has two orbital functions I wanted to discuss. The facial nerve innervates the orbicularis oculi, a muscle that covers the superficial aspect of the orbit and controls closing of the eyelids. Coordination between the facial nerve and the nasociliary nerve can be seen in the blink reflex, where sensory input from the cornea causes the orbicularis oculi to contract and blink. Now, for my closing question. A patient presents to your clinic with an abnormality of the eye, and you can see their right eye is directed medially, and they cannot abduct the eye to correct this issue. What cranial nerve is affected? Thank you for listening, and I will include the transcript of this presentation in the description for any questions you might have if you wanted to look through it. But otherwise, have a good day. Thanks. Bye.